Now, it's easy to be wise after the event, but the true test of wisdom is before the event. We were here this morning, Brian, at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we decided we'd sit down, we'd pull up 2 chairs and do a little test run about how the day was about to unfold. And we'll show you how the cake is made here. What day is it, Brian?
A good question. I don't know, is it the 12th or 13th of June, something like that?
It's Thursday, right?
Yeah, it is definitely Thursday.
And it's very early.
And it's very cold.
You bastards should be paying us more. Like, we've been doing fucking 12-hour shifts here. Well, Brian has been doing 24-hour shifts. But 12 hours is a lot for me. So, Brian, where are your hosts for today?
I'm hoping to see Rory McIlroy play well, Shane Lowry play well.
In that order?
No, well, I don't have any particular order, but I think Rory's going to play a bit better than people expect him to play. I watched him play, 2 9-hole practice rounds, and he played pretty well. He was in good form, which you'd always be in good form out there with Shane anyway, wouldn't you?
You would.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of doom and gloom about the press conference, and, I heard, McGinley was talking about it on Golf Channel. It was very worrying. It was very worrying. There was no fire in his eyes, no life in his eyes, and all this kind of stuff. And, he's worried about where the pointy elbow is. Where is, get out of the way, here I come, Rory. So it'd be interesting to see.
Okay, Brian, I have to stop you there. This is only a fucking test.
Yeah, I know.
All those lines until later.
Yeah, I'm just...
Well, Brian, I'm hoping to see Rory play well, and I'm hoping to see Shane Lowry play well. Now, first of all, have you saved your best lines? It's been a long day.
It's been a long day. I mean, it's, 14 hours ago or something like that?
14 hours ago.
Since we came in here this morning. We watched Shane Lowry, we watched Rory McIlroy, and it was interesting to say the least.
Yeah, I'm going to show you a photograph now, Brian, of Ted, who is from Oakmont. He's 14 years old, and he is standing with they call him the standard bearers, the scorecard, and he's sitting just off the 4th tee, okay? And obviously this is the back 9, and as you can see, it's going pretty well. Rory is 1 under. Shane has just eagled 3 to get back to 4 over, and Justin Rose also 4 over. Let's things unravel from there, but let's go with how they started, please.
Yeah. Rory McIlroy?
Yeah.
Started beautifully. Should have birdied the first, could have birdied the first, missed a 9-footer. Birdied the next hole, the 11th hole, 25-footer, beautiful. 12th hole, par 5, 600 million yards, about 620 odd yards, hits it 392 yards down the hill.
Right.
Hits it on the green to 50 feet, knocks it 9 feet past, and makes the one back.
So he's 2 under, 2
So
3.
he's 2 under 2 3, and he could be 3 under 2 3.
Okay, so he's 2 under 2. Now Shane, on the 12th, where Rory goes to 2 under, Shane is in trouble, and that's unfair, isn't it? Tell us what happened.
Well, yeah, I mean, that fairway, it's a tough fairway to hit. There's a few knobs and bumps on it, and Rory got a great bounce, huge bounce forward. Shane's kicked right into the heavy rough. From there, it was a struggle. Into a bunker, knocked it out short of the green, hitched on, missed the putt, bogey, and all of a sudden, he's not feeling all too good about himself, really. I mean, he hasn't really done much wrong, and he's 1 over par.
No.
He's struggling for par on the next hole as well. Has to hold like about a 9-footer just to save par there, So, Rory's going along beautifully, just really making it look so easy. And
cruising really through.
It was, yeah. It was a Jekyll and Hyde day for Rory. It really
And then
was.
hits a brilliant drive down 1, which is his 10th hole.
Yeah.
Looks like he could birdie again, and then
He's only got a wedge of it, 110 yards in or something like that, and he leaves it way short in 3 putts.
right.
So, okay.
First bogey
We
of the day.
regroup. Okay, 1 under par.
1 under
2
par. And now let's go to Ted, who's sitting there with the
Yeah.
scoreboard, and all is looking good. Par 5, 4th,
Yeah.
and Rory hits a drive that is just way right into the greatest load of shit I've seen on this golf course. I mean, it took about 10 guys 5 minutes to find the ball.
The 2 guys that are down there are supposed to be spotting weren't even looking when he hit the tee shot. So, he's waving at them. It's right of you. And so they waited. They go on up there anyway, and eventually find the thing. Now, people are saying, look, he maybe could have hacked it out onto the 5th fairway.
Yeah, I was
over
surprised.
to the right.
I was surprised at that.
I couldn't see the live.
Yeah,
Obviously,
yeah,
so it's hard to know if it had been an option.
Yeah.
Surely they would have had it. We didn't find out afterwards, as it turned out.
So
but he said he tries to go left back towards the fairway.
he hacks out onto the side of a.
Yeah, and ended up on the upslope. That's the upslope of a bunker.
Yeah.
So now he's played 3. His 4th shot, then he hits it onto the fairway. And then he's got about 180 yards into the green. And he gets
Up
it
and down.
Gets it up and down
Up
for
and
a
down
6.
for a
It
great
must have felt
6.
like like an eagle at the time, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, still, you know, we're still going along okay. You know,
Yeah.
it's a bogey. So is he back to level now?
Yeah.
Back to level, and then the par 3, 6th in the bunker, lovely bunker shot, and then the Oakmont greens. They got so many people today. I was just going through the count of the guys who 3-putted today, you know, and it was like there's just dozens and dozens of guys with 3-puts, 2-3-puts, you know, 3-putting all over the place. Some of the best putters in the world. So he misses that one. Then he 3-puts the 7th.
Yeah.
Now he's not feeling too good about himself, really, because he's kind of thrown away a great chance to, you know, really put up a good score in the US Open.
Yeah.
Par 3, 8th, you know, it's a really long par 3. 3 wood, right rough. He's about 15 yards right at the green. Doesn't move the ball very far in the rough. Hits a very average 3rd shot on. Misses it. Double bogey. 74, and we hang around afterwards waiting to see, will Rory talk? Will Shane talk? And, you know, you don't really probably want to be annoyed with Shane today. He's probably wouldn't be in the best of form, but Rory said no, thanks very much. Into the clubhouse and gone.
A lot of grumbling in here about that. That's now 5. That's 5 for 5, as they say over here, in terms of major rounds where he's walked off and hasn't spoken to the media.
Yeah, well, we're here trying to sort of analyse we're wondering about, well, what was the story there, you know, in
Could
the
he have gone right?
Could he have gone right?
Yeah.
How bad was it? You know, what were the greens like? How good were you feeling through 9 holes, etc.? You know, give us a bit of something, you know. But, you know, Scottie Sheffler spoke after his round, you know, and he didn't play fantastically well, 3 over par 73, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, but we'll hopefully we can hear from him tomorrow.
8 over.
Shane finished 9 over. His joint worst round in the US Open. Yeah, he just and he hit plenty of fairways.
How do you explain it? I mean, you know, I spoke to someone, one of his team, just a couple of minutes ago out there. He said he's never prepared as well, never been as mentally prepared.
Yeah.
A game in great shape. Everything looked on, and suddenly then it just unravels. What is that this place?
I think it's this place especially. And I mean, he did say in his build-up to the tournament, he says, you know, he's been hitting the ball great from tee to green. You know, the last 2-3 years hasn't won. He won that Zurich with Rory. The last win was you know, 2023 in the Wentworth.
Yeah.
And he said, you know, it's on and around the greens where having trouble kind of making the difference up. And today, you know, bottom of the field for strokes gained putting. Justin Rose, who played with the lads, 3-putted quite a lot. Shane was second from bottom of the field.
Right.
You know, in terms of in the last 4 or 5 holes, dropped quite a few shots coming in.
Yeah.
It was all those 7-8 footers, you know, and it was probably started when that double bogey made on the par 3. The 16th, he was in the bunker over the other side, had about a 5 or 6 quarter, missed that, and he was out of it very early. So, you know, confidence is not great. And these greens are so treacherous and so fast that
Shane is going home, right?
Shane's going to need to shoot 68 tomorrow to make the cut, you know.
And what about Rory? Is Rory out of it?
Rory is not out of it.
Because Sheffler, I listened to Sheffler up there behind the clubhouse. He's only 1 shot better than Rory. But didn't sound like it. It sounded like a guy who felt he still has every chance.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're looking at the leaderboard and you see, you know, the lead is 4 under par. But if you're you know, anywhere around par, you're going to be right in this come Sunday. Right. If you're level par on Sunday, so Rory's got, you know, tomorrow. Hopefully, you know, he's on the cut line at the moment. I think, you know, as they're just finishing up here, he's just 63rd, top 60 and ties make the cut.
Yeah.
So, you know, if he plays anything like he played on the front line tomorrow afternoon, that's going to be the problem with the tricky greens, drying out, you know, might be a bit breezier, hasn't even practiced in the afternoon here this week anyway, he might have done last week.
Yeah.
But, so that's going to be a challenge for him. But I think, you know, he has to be just really, really annoyed at himself today to let that great start, you know, slip. But it's not easy out there.
No. Okay, let's look at the leaderboard, Brian.
Yeah.
JJ Spawn, who almost won the Players.
Yeah.
Hasn't done very much since. Hadn't played here before, I don't think. Leads on 4 under. Tristan Lawrence, 3 under. Siwoo Kim, one of your tips, 2 under. And Brooks Koepka. Brooks Koepka.
Brooks Koepka, 5-time major winner. Yeah.
5-time major winner.
2-time US Open champion.
And He had some very interesting things to say, Brian, when he
Yeah.
came in. Let's hear it.
Well, Brooks Koepka is always interesting. He doesn't. He doesn't hold back. He missed the cut in the Masters, and he missed the cut in the PGA Championship. He's playing on Live.
Yeah.
And people are saying, well, they're over there getting the money and all the rest of it. He's all about the majors. He won a major after joining Live. He won another PGA, and he said, you couldn't live with me for the last. He said, from the first weekend of April.
No pun intended.
No, I know. Until about last week, you didn't want to be around me, And he said he had to apologise to everybody in his team, and he named off the umpteen people that he has in his team: Pete Cowan and the caddy Ricky Elliott and all those guys, and his wife, and his son, who's not even 2.
Well, I saw the son was up there behind the green, behind the 18th, right? But he walked off to him,
Yeah, so if he had a cat, he probably would have had to kick. He only would have had to apologise to the cat as well. But he's, and he's there. Birdie's the last 2 holes, and he's puffing his chest out, sort of saying it could have been 4 under. So what's the real leaderboard? This is the question.
Well, John Ram is another interesting name up there. 1 under, good round for him. So 2 Live players on the leaderboard.
Ram played so well on the PGA as well. He's really got the bit between his teeth as well. He did admit all these top 10s on Live don't really mean much, but he's still a big time player. He's a 2-time major champion, so he's there. 69, and 70. Then you got some great players. Adam Scott, another Masters champion. Jordan Spieth, where you'd think he's been driving the ball a hell of a lot better, and that guy can putt.
Yeah.
And Colin Morikawa, level.
So how are we feeling about tomorrow now, Brian? We were kind of optimistic this morning.
I think with the way Rory has been since the Masters, you really don't know what you're going to get from this guy, do you? You just don't know. You got the brilliance there on that front line, the back 9 this morning. It was just a joy to watch. Some of the shots he hit were just absolutely out of this world, And then just a little lack of concentration. The drive on the fourth, and maybe that affected him a little bit, and he's suddenly on the defensive. And then once you get on the defensive,
maybe he won't. Maybe with a couple of hours now since he walked in, he won't feel as bad now.
I don't think so, and I think any kind of around level par, 1 under par tomorrow will be you back in this going into the weekend. Well, that's going to be about what's 7. It was 6 over here the last time. I think 7 over. It's going to be about 7 or 8 over par. So. Even Shane, you never know. He is striking the ball very well. He can turn it around. Still every chance he could be around for the weekend. You never know then.
Okay, well, fortunately or unfortunately, we'll be around for the weekend, and we hope you will join us tomorrow.